All right, guys, so this week's video is gonna be a little bit fun. I'm excited for this one. I'm gonna be revealing how I built 7 different income streams that make me over $229,000 every single month. And I'm gonna go in depth on all of them, how I got started, how you can get started. So even if you don't end up doing 6 of these, all you really need is 1 and you have a profitable business. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I remember when nobody believed in me. I made $1 million, change of the scenery. I still remember when women were mean to me. These days I walk in the club with security. These days I'm feeling a change in the energy. These days you know that I gotta move differently.
So the way I'm gonna do this, I have my computer right in front of me. I'm gonna share each income stream based on how much they are making me in net profit. I'm gonna share all of the operating expenses, my thoughts on them, how I kind of got into it, and if I think that you should get into this business. So the first income stream that we're gonna talk about is social media marketing. This was the very first business I started. It's the one that made me a millionaire. It's the one that got me out of the trenches. So social media marketing has been my bread and butter. It's the one where I still make the most money. And I'm gonna go into why in a little bit. But social media marketing, my agency brings in $152,000 on average every single month. And it's great because it's a service-based business. So even though there are expenses, it's not as much as you would think. So I wanna go over some of the operational expenses that come with my social media marketing agency. The first one and the biggest one is our account managers. They're the people that manage the customers. They're the ones that find clients for us. They're the ones that communicate with them, make sure that all of our clients are happy, and they get the most payment. They're the biggest expense for the agency. We pay them $13,000 a month, and it's well deserved because they probably have the hardest job in my opinion. Next, we also have media buyers. These are the people that actually do the paid ads for our clients. Obviously, when I first started, I was the one doing all of it, but now I have employees to do it because I don't want to be spending all my time. I enjoy my free time, and we pay our media buyers $10,000 a month. A lot of people like to do media buyers outside of the country because it's a skill that you can learn outside of the country and you can get it for relatively cheap, save a lot of money, pass that on to your clients and customers. But we like to look at ourselves as like an exclusive, prestigious agency. So everyone we have for the agency itself is here. No one's overseas, everyone's here. It allows us to charge a premium price, and it's just a good look overall, because the next part is actually our creative team, our creators, and they get paid $8,000 a month. And their job is essentially just to do the graphics, to do the videos, to make the ads. They're in charge of getting all of the ads for our clients. So for the social media agency, we have account managers, creators, media buyers, and then we spend about $1,000 in miscellaneous expenses like software and websites and other stuff like that. Overall, after everything, we have about $32,000 in operating expense, and that brings our profit to about $120,000 a month. And when it comes to how I actually started my social media agency, really it was the only business I could start when I was broke because I didn't really have any other option. I couldn't invest in real estate. I couldn't invest in Amazon. I couldn't build a real e-commerce brand. So I had to do the thing that literally cost me no money and allowed me to make money online, which was social media marketing. And because I was offering a service, all I literally had to do was offer a service to businesses, close these deals, and I was instantly profitable. Like, as you can see, 152 grand, we only have $30,000 in expenses. So the margin there is absolutely ridiculous. When you're providing a service-based business, it is more work up front, but the rewards are just way greater. I don't have to worry about any products. I don't have to worry about any real business stuff. All I gotta worry about is the actual marketing and making sure our clients are happy. It's just a game of like, let me get as many clients as possible. Let me charge them as much as possible. We got a good business. So social media agency, it's super simple. It was the first one I started. I would recommend this one to anyone just getting started in business. If your goal is just to make money as fast as possible, social media agency is the way to go. And I wish I could say the same thing about this next stream of income that I'm gonna share with you guys, but this next stream of income is my supplement company. For those of you guys that have been following me for a while, you probably remember when I started this business. Right now, it brings in about $200,000 a month in gross revenue. But here's the issue. My supplement company has a lot of operational expenses. I think I got spoiled with social media marketing because I thought that every single business was gonna have crazy profit margins. And then I got into the world of e-commerce and I realized that not every business model is created equal. Let me read out some of these operating expenses for you guys. For my supplement company, we spend about $33,000 a month on warehouse and fulfillment, like shipping the products, making sure the orders get shipped, making sure everything gets stored correctly. We spend about $76,000 on marketing, advertising, paid ads, influencers, etc., etc. We spend about $29,000 a month in product costs, another $2,000 in softwares, which brings us down to a $57,000 profit. And what sucks about this is I have a partner. It doesn't suck because my partner is great. I'm more than happy to split it with him. And he gets paid $14,000 out of that $57,000 profit. So we went all the way from $200,000 in gross revenue, which looks amazing, looks great. But realistically, I only take home $45,000 from my supplement company. Now, how I actually started the business and the reason I got into it is because after years of having my marketing agency, I was getting tired of doing marketing for other people because I felt like I could do it for a business of my own. I didn't realize can of worms I was opening up because business involves a lot of moving parts. There's shipping costs, there's marketing costs, there's fulfillment costs, there's logistics, etc., etc. Not only that, I also had to get the product, design the product. So there was a lot more work than I anticipated. You don't really make that much profit. So even though the business looks like it's doing a lot, $200,000 in sales, gross revenue, realistically, I walk away with like less than 25% of that. And in my head, I thought supplements, because they had such a high margin, we get our products for like $6, we sell them for 40, 50, 60. Because we had such a big margin, I thought that we were going to be able to just print cash. But in reality, there's a lot of other expenses involved in the supplement industry, and it's not really as profitable as I thought it would be. But that being said, I still bring in $45,000 a month from my supplement company. I still love it. It's still a lot of fun, and we have a lot of customers that we are helping with it. So yeah, 45 grand a month with my supplement company. Now, is this something that I would recommend to aspiring entrepreneurs or business owners? I don't think so, just because of how much goes into it. A lot of people don't realize this, and when they try to start supplement companies, they fail because it's a highly competitive industry. But not only that, there's a lot of moving parts. So even me with my years of business experience, I still don't like it as much because of how much actual work it is for the amount you're getting paid. And on top of that, you have all of these people that are competing with you and coming after you and writing articles about you and spending ads on your keywords and your SEO. So it becomes like this shit show of competition. I'm not a big fan of that. I like having clients that pay me and I just make a lot of money. So if you are a beginner, I wouldn't recommend supplements to you. It's great if you own e-commerce businesses already. You're very familiar with e-commerce, sourcing products, logistics, and you want to have a business that has high margins like supplements. It might be good for you, but for beginners, I wouldn't recommend it to everyone. And when I started, I think I invested none of my own money, but technically my business partner invested $15,000 of their own money. So you do need a little bit of a startup cost there. And if you don't have it, you're not willing to risk it, and you're just a beginner, you're most likely going to fail. So I wouldn't recommend it to beginners. People with e-commerce experience could potentially be a good high margin business, but yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Income stream number 3, and this one's a relatively new one. It's software, and it's a business that I'm actually really enjoying. My software company does about $52,000 a month in revenue. And as far as operational expenses go, it might seem high now, but the bigger the company scales, the less proportional it will be. Here's what I mean by that. We have a developer that we pay $9,000 a month. That is an operating expense for the development team, just to make sure that the software is running good and it continues to run good and we can make improvements. I'm a big fan of just reinvesting money into the product, making sure that it works better, and overall your customers are just more happy with it. So we spend $9,000 on a developer. We also spend $1,500 a month on customer support. So I want to make sure that everyone that has questions about it is never lost. They get help. If they want to cancel their subscription, they can do it. I want to make sure that everyone has a great experience with the software. So we spend about $1,500 a month on customer support. And then we spend about $2,500 a month on data and AI usage. Because it's an AI software, we are paying to use AI and get data that way. And right now it's $2,500 a month. That expense might go higher the more users we get and the more people that are using the software. But all in, right now, we are doing about $39,000 in net profit that I get to keep from my software company. So it's really cool. I'm really excited about it. Again, it might be because it's a newer business for me. It's a new adventure. I'm getting to build a brand new business, which is always really fun, but so far so good. And it scaled really, really quickly. I'm almost making more from the software company than the supplement company, even though the revenues are just so completely far apart. And that's because of the type of business they are. So love the software so far. And the way I started the software company was actually in order to help my students. I had a lot of students that were having issues. And when it comes to starting any business, you have to listen listen to the customer. So a lot of my students, a lot of people that were doing social media marketing, they were struggling to find businesses. And I was referring them to other softwares or other resources that they could use to find clients. But I was like, you know what? What if we made one that's even better? What if we made one that used AI to find businesses, to analyze businesses? So I literally found a team. I paid them a lot of money, close to $200,000, and they spent hours building this thing out. And I'm really, really happy with the product. I haven't made all of my money back on it yet, but like I said, in the next few months here, I should be breaking even, and then everything after that is profit. As far as who I would recommend this type of business for, I would recommend it to entrepreneurs that are already using software. That way they can see where the gaps in the market are. Because software is a great business model. Not only do you get a huge exit and a huge valuation, you also have really high profit margins if you can make a good software. The issue is there's so much software out there that people don't really know what they need. So if you are an entrepreneur and you're already using software and you wish that there was something that the current softwares you are using did differently, it's great for you. Now, the only thing is, it does cost money to do it unless you are good with development, which I'm not. I don't know anything about coding. I don't know anything about building softwares. So if you want to get into software, it is going to cost you a little bit of money. There is an upfront cost, but the returns are huge. And from my short experience in it, it's been great so far. And this brings us to income stream number 4, and that is education, mentorship, courses. This is the one that people frown upon. I don't know why. I don't think there's anything wrong with selling a course if it's something you actually do. I understand there's a bunch of scammers out there, but people will look at me and say, you make all of your money from courses. That's how you're rich. It's like, guys, I was rich before I even started selling courses. But anyways, from education and training, mentorship, programs, etc., I do a gross revenue of $35,000 a month, which I think is pretty cool. Now, there are expenses that come with this. We spend about $8,000 a month on marketing. We spend $4,000 a month on video editors. The person editing this right now, they're an expense for this. We spend $7,000 a month on coaches because I really want to invest money into making sure that I have a good educational program. I want to make sure that when students purchase and they get in, they actually have help from a real person instead of just selling them videos. So if you guys want to get into that, there's a free class. You can learn more about it. It is a private group at the end of it. So if you jump in the free class, you'll have an opportunity to get a spot in the mentorship. But we spend $7,000 a month on coaches, $1,000 a month on customer support, and $1,000 a month on our website and softwares for all of that stuff. So all in all, after all the expenses, we went from $35,000 a month in gross revenue to about $14,000 a month in net profit that I actually make, which I think is really cool because that's like extra money that I can use to like do stuff with my wife, my daughter. It pays for a few things in the house. So I don't make a crazy amount of money from mentorship education courses, but I do make a decent amount. 14 grand a month is nothing to joke about. It's nothing to play with. So I love that business. It's probably the most fun for me because I get to make YouTube videos and get paid, which is crazy. So I love that business. The way I started that was almost kind of by accident. I was just posting my content on Instagram. I was doing rich boy shit. Like, you guys can scroll down on my Instagram or YouTube, see all that content. I'm over that stuff, but I was doing it. I started getting a lot of attention, and eventually people were like, what do you do? Can you teach me what you do? How do you live this life? And the light bulb kind of went off, and I was like, man, let me just sell a course so I can make money off this at least. If I'm going to post on social media, I might as well make money off of it. And that's exactly what I did. So I started the course, started doing the social media stuff, started selling the course, and I made a pretty good chunk of change doing it. As far as who I would recommend this type of business for, anyone with any sort of expertise. And what's crazy is I might not make that much from courses or coaching, but I know a lot of people that do. There's a guy that teaches people how to jump higher, and he makes like 200 grand a month from courses, because he's someone that knows how to jump high. So it doesn't necessarily even have to be business. If you have a skill that you're good at, it could be drawing, it could be running, it could be basketball, it could be, I don't know, doing backflips. There's a course with a guy that teaches you how to do backflips, and he makes like $50,000 a month. You can actually sell a course on it. Again, this is where there's almost like blurred lines. Make sure you're an expert. Make sure you're not just scamming people and selling courses. Make sure you actually know what you're talking about, know what you're doing, and do your best to make sure that people actually get results. But if you're someone that has an expertise or a trade, you can 100% start doing courses. It's not that expensive to start, but if you're not good, people are going to catch on really quickly. So make sure you actually know what you're doing. Courses would be great for you. All right, so this next stream of income is actually kind of related to the course stuff, but not really. And this is content creation. This is really cool because there's no expenses really tied to this. I just create content for fun, and it's cool that I get to make some money from it. Now, I don't really make that much money from content creation. I make a grand total of $2,800 a month on average. And that comes from, let's say I get YouTube views, YouTube pays me out AdSense, or let's say I get views on TikTok, I get paid out by the creator fund. Let's say there's brands that I like and they want to do brand deals and I'm okay with it. I'll do a brand deal. They'll pay me an upfront sum. So I'll make anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 a month doing this, but it's a little chunk of change that I just get to keep for myself. $2,800, that's my car payments. Yeah, it's cool. Content creation, it's something that I enjoy and it's all profit. So it's just something extra that I get to keep. As far as starting it, it's something that I was already doing. I think a lot of people in the world of social media, we want to be accepted. We want to show our friends what we do. And if we're good at something naturally, people are going to gravitate towards it. So that's kind of what happened with content creation. I was just making videos, making content. People started liking it. I just kept doing it over and over and over again. Sure enough, I started getting views. Who I would recommend this to? I think this is one of those businesses like social media marketing on this list. It's one of those businesses that you can start with no money. Everything I've said so far, when it comes to supplements, when it comes to education, you need capital or a skill to start, which is a lot more than people start with, right? With social media marketing, you can start from scratch with no money. And the same applies to this one, content creation. I know a ton of people that have no skills, but they're just good at content and they're able to make tens of thousands of dollars because we live in an attention economy. People want to pay for attention. So if you can go on social media, you're not shy in front of the camera, you can make videos, you don't mind showing your face, and you're naturally talented at it, you can make a lot of money doing it. In fact, my wife had a full career before we got married as an influencer. Brands would pay her tens of thousands of dollars to post because she was able to get eyeballs. So if you're someone that doesn't have money to start and you're not shy, you can be in front of a camera, content creation might be for you because it's the ultimate way to make some money with nothing starting. And we're down to our last two streams of income now. These are the more traditional realms of income that you think about when you think multiple streams, because number 6 is real estate. Now, just a disclaimer, I am no real estate mogul. All I've done is taken the money that I made from the internet and I've diversified it by putting it into real estate, right? You want something that's a little bit safer. Let's say something bad happens with the internet. I have income coming from other places. So when it comes to real estate, I don't really have much. I have 2 pieces of property, an Airbnb and a rental property, and they bring in a grand total of $6,000 a month. As far as operational expenses, it's actually not that bad. I pay about $800 a month in cleaning fees to a house cleaner that cleans the Airbnb. I pay about $400 to a property manager that manages both properties, and I pay about $600 on a mortgage for the rental property. So all things considered, after all the expenses, we're looking at about $4,200 a month in rental income, real estate income, which I think is pretty cool. Again, not a crazy number like all of my businesses, because that was kind of my bread and butter, but it's cool to have income coming in from different places. $4,200 is nothing to play with because it does cover a lot of other bills, food expenses, cars, insurance, etc., etc. So it's nothing to smile about. It is a pretty good, decent stream of income. How I got started in real estate was actually exactly how I said earlier. I was making a lot of money and I was looking at my bank and I was like, wait a minute, if the internet goes bad, what do I do? Oh no. And naturally that paranoia sets in. I wanted to be smart and I was like, you know what? Let me start investing into property, traditional investments, because that's been around forever and I doubt it's going to go away. So I diversified my money a little bit. I would recommend real estate for people that have some cash to start out. People think that real estate is something where you can just make a bunch of money fast from scratch. In reality, it takes money to make money in real estate. If you were to buy property and not have a big amount of capital, do a small down payment, and you just have a bunch of interest and a huge mortgage, you're probably not gonna make any money from your real estate. So in order to actually make money from that, get some cash flow, see some positive returns, you need to have some money to start and you need to do your research. So for those people that wanna own property, have traditional safe investments and have some capital to start, I think real estate's good. Again, I'm no expert at real estate. I'm just a man trying his best here. And that brings us to number 7, another traditional investment. Somewhat, it's my investment portfolio. And the way that I got the income from this is I just took my returns for the past year and I divided it by 12. So it was like 50 something thousand, 51,000. I divided it by 12. It ended up being $4,400 a month net income. Now, again, this stays in my account, so I don't withdraw the $4,400. So it goes up, it goes down. But the way I look at it, my investment portfolio is another way to diversify my assets and my income. Because a lot of my income, my big income, is all coming from internet money, online businesses. You don't know what happens with that. I really doubt anything is gonna happen, but you wanna just be safe. So I've invested some of that money into traditional things like real estate and my investment portfolio. My portfolio contains a lot of crypto. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a lot of cryptocurrency, but I do have traditional stocks in there and some gold. So my traditional investment portfolio nets about $4,400 a month. I don't really touch it. I just leave it in the account and I let it continue to grow. That is gonna be kind of my nest egg outside of my savings. Again, the way I got started with that, I just wanted to diversify. I would recommend it for people that have finance degrees, understand how this stuff works, because I'm not gonna lie. As an internet entrepreneur, I don't know anything about investing. I just take advice from a lot of my friends that actually do know what they're talking about. But I think everyone should have some sort of investment portfolio, even if it's a little bit. So yeah, guys, those are my 7 income streams that bring in $229,000 a month. Hopefully you guys got some inspiration from this to build other streams of income, build other businesses, or even just get started. Because at the beginning, I had 0 streams of income and I had to build my way up. Ultimately, it all starts with one. If I had to recommend one, it would be hands down social media marketing. There was a lot of good ones in there, but a lot of them require money. Businesses that require money are not good for beginners because if you mess up, you have nothing to fall back on. Whereas social media marketing, you don't need any money to start. You just need to learn a skill, find businesses, start making money. And that's exactly what I did. I started making money with that, and I was able to take that experience, that know-how, that money, that capital, and invest it, and it allowed me to build other businesses like my supplement company, like my software company, like my education company, and my portfolio of real estate and traditional investments. So it all started for me with social media marketing. That's the one I recommend to everyone. If you guys don't know yet, I have a free class. You can click the link in my description, but I also got a video that'll teach you step by step how I did it and how you can do it as well. It'll pop up on the screen here. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. As always, love you guys.